We're on a nice rising market with the stock market in a rally where shares have gone up in general. The S&P has gone up for about 7 days and it's really climbed quickly. We had a pretty good pullback about a month ago and we've almost come back to the highs on the S&P. It's been pretty incredible. Every market will provide opportunity. We just have to know, which way the market's going and what we can do as investors to really monetize that opportunity. I'm going to talk about selling put options and how I'm using them to get extra income in my portfolio on stocks that I would love to own and I'd love to own more shares of. The three stocks I'm going to talk about are Amazon, Allstate, and Live Nation. These three stocks are really good companies. I've made videos on all three and believe that they're all discounted. I'd love to own more shares of these stocks, and they have been going up in price. Now, selling a put option gives me the opportunity to buy shares at a lower price if they were to go down in price. I sell put options roughly a month into the future. I feel comfortable with that term. I try to stay away from some of the pitfalls like not having a dividend event or an earnings call because you never know what's going to happen with earnings. For example, today I had one stock go up 18%. I'd hate to be in a put option when a stock either goes up or goes down that much. Having said that, let me go through three examples and show you how I'm generating $495 more income in 1 month by selling put option contracts to buy shares at a discounted price compared to what they're selling today. Let's start with Amazon. I don't think I need to convince anybody that Amazon is a great company, and I would love to own more shares of Amazon. I've been buying into the company ever since they had a pretty good dip after their earnings. Not sure why the market sold them off so much, but the stock is really rising. I've bought into the stock as fast as I could during that low point. But what I also did is I sold a put option to buy 100 shares of Amazon on September 13th if the stock goes down to $160 or less. Right now, it's $178.22. Now, whoever bought that contract paid me $178. So I get that in cash. If the stock stays above $160 per share, I get to keep that $178. And if it falls below $160, I get to buy Amazon shares. I win either way. Heads, I win. Tails, I win. Thank you very much, stock market. So I was glad to sell that put option on Amazon and see if it's going to go ahead and trigger and get to the strike price and enable me to buy more shares of Amazon, or if I'm just going to keep the $178. Overall, the way I calculated that $178 really gives me a yield of 13%. How do I calculate that? Is I have to put up the collateral, which is the money that would buy 100 shares, and that money's locked up, can't go anywhere. So I'm taking that as being the basis of my investment, and the yield is $178. So if it stays above $160 per share, I'm going to get a yield of 13% on this put option. Not a bad month's work, considering that I do have a good amount of cash right now, and it's earning 4 to 5%. So this is a better yield on that cash. The next company that I want to accumulate shares in is an Allstate. And this company is in insurance. It's been doing really well over the past year. It's up 71%. So I'm very glad that I own this stock. I've done really well in appreciation. I'd love to own more shares. The stock has been going up recently, and I sold a put option contract to buy 100 shares of Allstate if the price comes down to $170 per share or lower. And the person who bought that contract paid me $168 for the right to buy those or to sell me those shares at the price, which is fine. If the stock price stays above $170 per share, I get to keep the $168. If it comes down in price, I get to buy Allstate stock. I win either way. Heads, I win. Tails, I win. Thank you very much, stock market. If I calculate the yield on that put option, I'm making 12% on the money that I have to put up as collateral for those 100 shares of Allstate stock that's going to be locked up for a little over a month. So that's the second stock that I've put a put option in place, that I've sold it and created some income. And the third and final stock that I've sold a put option contract on is Live Nation. This is a company that I think has a lot of value compared to its stock price. And I've completed a video recently. You can see it on my channel if you like. You can see that the stock's been very volatile. And I've been buying into this stock, but I also sold this put option contract. Basically, if the stock comes down to $90 per share or lower, I get to buy the stock at that price. And if it stays above $90, I get to keep a premium of $149 that I got from selling this contract. In either case, in all three scenarios, I get to keep that premium. But you would hate to see a stock like this one really come down. Let's say there was some really bad news and the stock, crashed down to $60 per share. I would have to buy the stock at $90. That's the risk. But the benefit right now in a rising stock market, I think, is pretty clear. I get to generate income, in this case here, $149 from a stock that I would like to buy. All things being the same, I would love to buy Live Nation at $90 a share if somebody would want to sell that to me. And we'll see how it plays out. All three contracts have a duration of roughly about a month. That's the time duration that I'm comfortable with. And again, I try to stay away from earnings calls, dividend events, because those could really move a stock one way or another. In all three scenarios, generated some income, $495. Now, I just started doing this since we have a rising stock market. I feel like the market is probably going to go up from this point. Chances are, right? Nobody can predict it. But we had a pretty good correction about a month ago. And I think that's kind of given the market the medicine it needed to kind of bring down some prices. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up a little higher from this point through the end of the year. So I might double up on the put option contracts that I sell and create a little more income. Maybe get that income stream up to about $1,000 a month. We'll see. So that's my video on selling put option contracts to get additional yield and additional income in my portfolio. Hope you found it interesting. Thank you for watching.